What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So we had a pretty green day overall. After 9:30 a.m. everything bounced. This could be a dead cat bounce, so just be careful, but we did get a ton of green action in the market today. Just keep in mind, quad of witching is on Friday, so we could have some crazy moves, especially the last 15 minutes of Friday. I'm looking to hedge with SPY puts around 450 strike out to 927 or later going into the FOMC. So before we get into it, if you guys enjoy these videos, feel free to drop a like and hit subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And also check out the free Discord server where I'm doing the small account challenge. That's currently up about 22% this week. So things are going good so far, just taking it one play at a time. And check out the Patreon if you're interested. Link is in the description. Now let's get into it. All right, so first up is IRNT. This is IRNT, and this is what everyone's talking about for the next big gamma squeeze. And basically, this was up yesterday after hours and opened this morning around $30. Now, I personally felt like that would be chasing for me, so I missed this play completely, but it did come back down to 25, which obviously now looking at it would have been the perfect spot to get in. It pretty much pumped the rest of the day, and after hours up another 24%, peaking out around 41.35 and still hanging around there. So it's a bit volatile. But basically, people are saying that the cost to borrow is over 800%, the short interest is insane, and a ton of calls are going to expire in the money, potentially forcing a gamma squeeze. So we saw a ton of call flow come in for this. People were targeting the 45 strike expiring this Friday. I should have noted that a bit better and possibly taken those calls as well, because they were only $100 when I saw these flows coming in. So I totally missed this one, but congrats to anyone who got in on this. So this came out 7 hours ago, and it says 7 things to know about IRNT cybersecurity as traders squeeze it higher. Basically, this was the talk of the day. 14 million shares exchanged hands, and it had a volume of about 1.5 million shares. So volume was up today. It basically just talks about the company reported revenue of 6.1 million alongside a net loss of 17.2 million. This meets its expectations for the first half of 2022 and also saw it reaffirming guidance for the full year. Obviously, it's not worth as much as it's trading at right now, but it just goes into a little bit more about the company, which clearly nobody cares about. They're just in this for the squeeze, but I did want to look at the chart. This is clearly unsustainable, but this is the flow that came in at the end of the day. So 69% call flow. Like I said, those calls out of the money expiring in 2 days. Someone knew something, and a lot of people were ready to squeeze this. So it's currently up here at $44 after hours, and it closed at 32. So it's really going after hours. I would not short this right away. It could be a good short. You know, we've seen SPRT, we've seen like a lot of those other squeeze stocks that end up coming way down. But this one, if it does gamma squeeze, I would just be very careful. Had a lot of volume at the end of the day. So definitely keeping this one on watch for it to come back down. All right, next up is ticker symbol ANY. This is Sphere 3D. So this has been quite the roller coaster. It has gone from $12 on the pump all the way down this last week to about $5.70 before pumping today on some bullish news. Peaked out about $7.84 today and then sold off a little bit after hours, but this is still looking good. The fact that it closed above 7 is very positive. Now let's take a look at some of the news that came out for ANY. So there was an article that came out, which is the reason I believe this pumped today, and it's talking about Sphere 3D, why this will make you rich with a price target of $45 a share. According to Benzinga, this article has been removed now. So that's a little bit concerning, but not a lot of people seem to care because Sphere 3D is still above $7, doing decent. There was an article that came out on September 8th, targeting $24 price target by end of October 2021, because that's when the merger will be, and then $72 by June 2022. So a lot of people compare this to Mara and Riot. As we know, Bitcoin's doing good. This is related to Bitcoin with their merger with Griffin Digital. Now, people are saying that this could be bigger than those two combined, and that's why I think you're getting these crazy price targets. So it wouldn't hurt to either, hold a little bit of shares or even buy some far out leaps and just kind of tuck them away as a gamble play, because these really could go much higher, and a lot of people are targeting at least in the 20s. So It's something that I'm very curious about. More good news for Sphere 3D, and that's that Griffin Digital Mining launched their first batch of its 7200 S19J Pro Animiners, and they have been installed and are now mining Bitcoin. So this is transformational for the company as it transitions from an aspirational Bitcoin miner to a producer, and is yet another milestone for the company's goal to be in the industry-leading Bitcoin miner with a zero carbon footprint. So just more good news. Pretty good day for this stock overall with that article coming out as well as this. All right, looking at ANY on the 15, we can see that around 570 we tend to bounce off. That's pretty good support in my opinion. So it's happened a couple of times. Sold off, broke out, sold off again, and then today broke out. We actually entered into the gap that I'm looking for this stock to fill and then sold off a little bit and bounced towards the end of the day. So we definitely pumped off this price target upgrade and news. Merger still approaching, lots of eyes on this one. I would be careful because this did pump a lot today, so we could see some retracement, some profit taking. However, towards the end of the day, we did get 88% call flow, so maybe people are looking for a bigger move and for this to actually fill the gap maybe by the end of the week. We'll see. Short interest did go down 2.49% today. Cost to borrow still 77.1%. So I'm liking the way this looks. I would say, we've seen it a few times where it pumps up. Next couple of days, it comes all the way back down to 560 or so. So just be careful with this. I would say that's a good spot to buy right off this line right here. But you have support at 602, 469, and then your resistance points are 827 and 920. Once this enters the gap at 770, we'd like to see it hold that and then continue up and fill the whole gap at 870. But that is where you're probably going to have a lot of profit taking, so just be careful and keep that in mind. All right, and last up, SOFI. So I talk about this one all the time on the channel. I'm long on SOFI. We bought the dip yesterday after it was beaten down along with the rest of the market, and then a price target upgrade came out. So shares of fintech company rose 6.5% after Mizuho began coverage with a buy rating. The Wall Street firm assigned the stock a $28 price target compared to Tuesday's close of $14.50, so that is pretty much doubling from where it was at. Mizuho said it sees a cycle of increased engagement, boosting revenue and profits for SOFI, and of course, I have to agree. So SOFI did very well today. You can see here, this is the small account challenge. We just picked up 10 shares, but a pretty good buy zone right at $14.49, and we're up on those shares today. My current position in SOFI is 808 shares across all my accounts, and then those 10 shares you saw on the small account, those will probably get traded away. And then I have 4 leaps out to 2023 that are all doing pretty good. I think one account is down $11 on them right now, but I'm not worried about that. Got plenty of time. I plan to trade some of these away, hold some long term, and then if SOFI does pump like crazy, sell some covered calls on them. Some more bullish news for SOFI and Galileo. This came out today. Q2 2021 proved to be a strong quarter for Galileo and parent company SOFI. Specifically, Galileo expanded accounts on its platform to 79 million, up from 36 million a year ago. The company's net revenue also jumped 138% year over year. So I do think SOFI is very deserving of these high price targets, such as $28 that they're receiving. All right, and to wrap things up, let's look at the SOFI chart. So yesterday we did have a big sell-off, but around that 1450 range is pretty good support, and definitely, 1350 to 14 is solid support. That's where a lot of buyers step in. So we have 1489 first support, second support 1432, and then first resistance 1576 and 1606. We've tried to enter this gap and fill it, and we sold off. Still looking for this gap to fill. No rush on this play for me. Bank charter should be happening before November. Got that gap to fill above. Lots of price targets in the 20s. I'm just buying and waiting. And here is the options flow right now. No puts were bought, just calls were sold. So people just capitalizing on the pump and collecting some premium. Now, there is some heavy speculation of when the bank charter will be, and I will link that below. It's a Reddit article, so you guys can read through that, but it does sound like it should be before November. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video and the quick updates. Let me know what you guys are watching in the comment section below. Feel free to check out the free Discord and the Patreon, and have a good one.